Won't get anyone. Okay. Last week, I think we talked about goals, meeting our goals, and then looking at the Maslow hierarchies. I think we got to wants. Am I right? Or where did we get to? We got to inputs, wants. I think we ended at the characteristics of wants. We said human beings have bundles of desires. Their wants are infinite in variety and number. We have numerous wants and desires. The some wants are natural. For example, wants for more food, clothing, shelter, and what have you. They are natural. Wants vary from individual to individual, and it multiplies with civilization. Our wants multiplies. Your wants when you are at, let's say, Tamale, will be different when you relocate to probably Kumasi. Your wants may not be the same. So we say wants vary. Wants vary. And let's look at characteristics of wants. The humans are, or humans wants are unlimited. Our wants are unlimited. It's uncountable. What's the difference between wants and needs? The difference between wants and needs, please.
Madam,
Yes, madam.
Madam,
Yes, madam.
from my understanding, I would say that the needs are the things we can't do without. And then the wants are the things that we wish to get, but we can do without them. Thank you.
Okay. So any example? Can you cite any example?
Example of the needs, we have our basic needs like food, like clothing, like shelter. They are the things that we cannot do without. Those are the needs. And the wants, as I'm seated here, I would like to travel outside, but I can't. I would like to, but I can't. That is want. That is something I want, but I can't have it. I can do without it. As I'm seated here, I'm not dead. But if I don't eat, I may die. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So you said wants, human wants are unlimited, meaning they are lots, they are infinite. They don't really have an end. Our minds are so made that we are never completely satisfied, and hence there is no end to human wants. So as I said, human wants has no end. If you are earning, say, 1,000 today, your wants may be different when you start earning 10,000 a month. Once one wants to satisfy another want, will crop up to take its place, and thus it is never-ending cycle of wants. When you don't have money, you realize that your wants is in a different form. But assuming or the moment they pay or you receive your salary, your want changes to something else. If you are not careful, if you are the type that borrows money, you may even forget that your sister or brother have borrowed you or has lent you some money that you should go and pay. I hope some people can relate. If you are not careful, you may even finish them with the money before you remember that you're owing some people that you needed to pay. The second characteristic is any particular want is satisfiable, is satiable. Sorry, satiable. Though the wants are unlimited. Satiable. Please, can anyone help with the meaning satiable? All right. So once one wants to satisfy, I said any particular want is satiable. Anyone who can help us with the meaning of satiable? Oh, why? The morning will be very active, and when it comes to the afternoon, it looks like we are a bit down. What's the meaning of satiable?
That was like satisfying now.
Thank you. Thank you. But sometimes it's
I
like that.
for-
Come again.
I said fulfilled.
Thank you. So satisfied, fulfilled, they are all similar. So any particular want is satiable. Though the wants are unlimited, it is possible to satisfy a particular want, provided one has the means. If you have the resource, it is possible. Even though we have unlimited wants, it is possible to satisfy a particular want, provided you have the means to do that. So the next point, we say characteristics of, sorry, wants are complementary. Wants, they are complementary. Why do we say they are they are complementary? They are complementary because it is a common experience that we want things to in groups. It is a common experience that we want things in groups. A single article out of a group cannot satisfy human wants by itself. A single article out of a group cannot satisfy human wants by itself. It needs other things to complete its use. It needs other things to complete it needs other things to complete its use. Example, a motor car needs petrol or an engine oil for it to start working. That's the relationship between motor cars and petrols, and petrol is complementary. So the other one is complementing the other. The petrol is complementing the car. And then we say wants are competitive. Wants are competitive. You see, some wants compete with others. Why? Because we have a limited amount of money at our disposal. We all have a limited amount of money at our disposal. Therefore, we must choose some things and equipment, some things and reject the others. Therefore, we must choose some things and reject the others. We all have a limited amount of money at our disposal. So therefore, we must choose some things and reject the others. Example, like sugar. You have honey for tea. You can reject buying sugar. Or assuming you have the white sugar, you wanted the brown one. Since your money is limited, okay, you can reject buying the how do you call it? Example, I said like sugar. Assuming you have the white one, you can reject buying the brown sugar, then use the white sugar. Or you have sugar in general, and you have honey too. No, you have honey. You can reject buying sugar so that you use honey instead. Then the fifth one is some wants are both complementary and competitive. Some wants are both complementary and competitive. When machinery is used in getting work done, the use of okay. Some wants are both complementary and competitive. So when machinery is used in getting work done, the use of labor needs to be reduced. When you have like this Xmas, those who were preparing cakes, you need to bring me my own. Those who prepared cakes, you realize that if you have the mixing machine, you ended up using the machine instead of using manpower for the creaming. Or you even use manpower only when there was light out, right? Today, when you have blender, you prefer to use blender to the earthenware bowl. So just as we are saying, the use of labor needs to be reduced. This indicates competitive nature. But to run the machinery, the labor is also required, and as such, it indicates complementary relationship. So to run your machinery, the labor is also required. You can't just, let's say, cake mixer. You can't just fetch your sugar, measure your sugar, and then your margarine, and that's all. No. You need to operate the machine. So we say the labor is also required. As such, it indicates complementary relationship. So they all depend on 1.5. Still on characteristics. They say wants are alternative. Wants are alternative. They are things that you may, or you may decide to do it or not. So there are several ways of satisfying a particular want. If we feel thirsty, we can still if if we feel thirsty, we can have water or fresh juice in summer, while coffee and tea in winter. The final choice depends on the availability of money and the relative prices. So if you have money available, why not? And the thing you are looking for is also available. You just pay. Then 7, wants vary with time, place, and person. Wants vary with time, place, and person.
Madam,
Yes.
please, concerning the alternative satisfaction.
Okay.
As you gave the example that if you are thirsty, you can either drink water or juice. Can
Mm-hmm.
we substitute juice for water? Because me, when I'm thirsty and I don't get water, whatever liquid that I get, I'm not satisfied. Unless I get the water, I can drink juice, I can take coconut water, but still the desire for the taste will remain there unless I take water before I'll be okay.
And when water, in the absence of water, sometimes you can take it while you look for water.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we are saying. In the absence of water, one can take it while you still look for what will actually satisfy that desire.
Okay. Thank you.
The final choice depends on the availability of money and the relative prices. If you have the money or the means, why not? I'm looking for water and I got coconut. Why not? I will equally buy it first before probably looking for water to quench my thirst. But honestly speaking, sometimes when you are thirsty, you are thirsty. Wants vary with time, place, and person. Wants are not always the same. They say they vary from individual to individual. And people want different things at different times and in different places. Wants vary in urgency and intensity. The 8th point, wants vary in urgency and intensity. Over here, all wants are not equal or equally urgent or intense. And you realize that some wants may be urgent while others are not or are less urgent. Okay. Any question? Any question? Any question? Okay. Hey, does that mean we've all understood? Have we understood? Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
madam.
Doesn't mean we've understood.
Yes, please.
Okay. So let's look at events. 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 Events are pertinent, incapable occurrences that require action. Require action. Event. I'm not talking about that event center. Brings your mind here. Bring your mind here. Are talking about the pertinent, incapable occurrences that require action. They require adjustment of activities and the use of resources. They require adjustment of activities and the use of resources. They may change direction in the flow of life and sometimes cause redirection. Sometimes events can change the direction in the flow of life and cause a redirection. Example of events: sudden illness or death of a loved one or loss of property, can cause a redirection of life. Excuse me to say you've lost your properties in fire outbreak. This can redirect your life 360 degrees. Last week I had a mate testifying that she lost her properties in fire outbreak. She said all her stuff at the, let me say, her warehouse got burnt. She said more than thousands of CDs have burned down. And from the way she was talking, it has redirected her life. They were calling on us to donate to support her. So certain things happen to us in life and they cause a redirection in time. You've planned to go to school or to go and further your education, and then the financier of your family just died. This may redirect your life into at a go. So they require us to adjust the time and sequence of activities. time, and sequence of activity. Eunice, what you are doing is not good. Oh. Put off
Madam
your hand.
Eunice, Madam Eunice, please, you are disturbing us.
Events become important to the management system and require action. Events become very important to the management system and require action. Now, many events may be implemented when they occur. And death, sickness, sudden sickness. What do you need the time for? Yeah, 12:40. Sudden sickness, destruction of properties, loss of job, can all these events may be implemented when they occur. And this require adjustments and redirections of life activities. When these things occur, it may require adjustments and redirection of life activities. We have minor events which may require only a few or quick adjustments of use of resources. Such examples are unexpected visitors. You can quickly adjust your resources to take care of them. We also have major events. Major events may require permanent adjustments. Like as I said, maybe fire outbreak, or there was a loss of a loved one. These are major events and they will require permanent adjustments. People have different abilities for absorbing situations and dealing with events without being thrown off gear. People have different abilities for absorbing situations and dealing with events without being thrown off gear. Events require resources and reorganization and adjustment of plans, which are subsystems of the managerial systems. Close the fridge immediately. Poor management of resources will occur if one does not plan well. Events require resources and reorganization and adjustments of plans, which are subsystems of the managerial systems. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Any question? Okay, let's move on and look at resources. Resources. Resources are what people use to reach goals. So whatever you use to reach out to your goals are resources. Is it your energy, your time, money, energy, and what have you that you could think about? Your wisdom, on your knowledge, your skills, they are all resources. And they are the tools and talents with which people build their lifestyles. So they are also said to be the means with which people work. They are assets used to accomplish goals. They are also said to be the means with which people work. They are assets used to accomplish goals. A resource is something that has a once satisfying power and is instrumental in reaching desired end. Resources are more, where did I get it? Resources are more inclusive terms. Resources are more inclusive terms that describe any possession at hand or in reserve that are available for use. Resources must be available and recognized for the potential in meeting goals. Resources must be available and recognized for the potential in meeting goals. The term includes both potential and resources. Resources, I take it again, must be available and recognized for the potential in meeting a goal or goals. So the term includes both potential and resources. Okay. Families have resources and other economic assets, and therefore, when identifying resources, the term assets means not only valuable resources, but also personal qualities, that's traits, individual characteristics, community resources, environmental environment, and other natural resources that can be used in meeting desirable wants. Hmm. So the term asset means not only valuable resources, but also the personal traits, qualities, the individual characteristics, the community resources, the environment, and other nutritional, and other natural resources that can be used in meeting desirable wants. Environment and other natural resources that can be used in meeting desirable wants. In management, we talk about resource use in daily life and also resources that are created or developed in the availability and limitations of these resources. So you see, the use of time is limited to 24 hours. It does not matter what you do if we do not utilize a particular day, it can never be retrieved. So in management, we talk about resource use in daily life and also resources that are created or developed and the availability and limitations of these resources. It does not matter what we do if we do not utilize a particular day, it can never be retrieved. Once the day has gone wasted, it's wasted. You cannot retrieve it. Such is resources for you. If you waste or you spend your energy on something, all right, still on resources, let's look at money income. You say it's limited. Money income is very limited. There is a limit to the energy that you might have. There is a limit to the energy that we might have, and also there is a limitation to the possession. There is take that portion again. I said there is a time, there is a limited to the energy that we might have, and also there is a limitation to the possession that we can have at any particular time. In family management, we can or we need to understand and recognize that those resources that are available are those that we cannot recognize. In family management, we need to understand and recognize those resources that are available and those that we cannot recognize as not available. Those we misuse and those that are underutilized. So it's even cut across on the individual, families, and even to the nation at large. Mm. Okay. The goal in management is to become fully aware of the potential resources and use them judiciously and effectively. Any question? The goal in management is to become fully aware of the potential of resources and use them judiciously and effectively. You know, these are the resources I have, and these are my goals. Use them judiciously and effectively. Now, let's look at the classification of resources. We have the human and non human resources. The human and non human resources. The human resources and non human resources. Looking at the classification of resources. These are personal, individuals have for achieving ends. Said no, the human resources. We said they are personal capabilities that individuals these includes mm, so let's look at the human resources. So the human resources, these are potential capabilities. These are human personal you have cognitive abilities. That has to do with knowledge, comprehension, analysis, application, and evaluation. Cognitive abilities. That has to do with knowledge, comprehension, analysis, the application, and evaluation. cognitive abilities. That has to do with knowledge, comprehension, analysis, application, and evaluation. And then we have psychomotor skills. That's manipulative skills used in task performance. And then the affective attributes. Psychomotor skills. That's the kind of things we do with our hands. Psychomotor skills used in tasks. Psychomotor skills. That's manipulating. So maintaining skills used in task performance is very necessary here. Affective attributes, that's the feeling, attitude, that um, affective attributes, that's feelings and attitudes that individuals have. Example is in interest and motivation for work. Now let's look at the non-human resource. Okay, these are materials and resources. Material resources that include consumer goods, housing, space, facilities, you know, which are available for use. Any question? I've given us the human resources. So let's contribute in the I've given us the human resources. Please, let's share ideas on the non-resources. What are some of the non-human resources? Non-human resources.
Madam.
Hello.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Can I say money is non-human resources?
Please, I can't hear you.
Please, I said, can I say money is non-human resources?
Aren't you sure of the answer? The way you are saying, can we see?
So money is one of them.
Are you sure?
Yes, madam.
I said non-human resource. They are material resources that include consumer goods, housing, space, uh, consumer goods, housing, space, and facilities in the home which are available for use. So with this definition in mind, do you think that do you think what you are saying is correct?
No, please, based on the definition.
Come again.
No, please.
Oh, why? Have you changed your mind again?
Based on the definition, you say is
Come again.
the definition says it all. So I can say that non-consumable goods. Example is let's say roads,
Okay.
schools, and hospitals.
Please, I
Are
said
examples of non-human
example.
resources.
I didn't hear that one break. So I didn't hear that. There was
Please,
silence.
madam.
You said something that you can say. I didn't hear the rest.
I said roads, schools, and
Mhm.
hospitals are also examples of non-human resources.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Yes. Any other thing? Our hospitals, the KVIPs, the banks, the parks, the communication centers, they are all non-human resources. So let's take note. Health is important in contributing energy and capacity for work output. For example, psychomotor skills. Okay? Psychomotor skills. Yes. I want us to take note of this. He said health is important in contributing energy, and capacity for work output. For example, psychomotor skills. A clothing designer needs inborn skills to accomplish her goals. So we contribute both human and non-human, to non-human resources to accomplish our goals. Are you with me? Hello. Resources that are within family subsystem are normally easily available. The family has more control over them. Take, for instance, knowledge, skills, family income, family means of transport or transportation. The family has more control over it. But those in the community and the larger environment are difficult to control. Take, for instance, hospitals. The family has no control over it. Banks, lorry parks. Okay. Still looking at the characteristics of resources. So utility of resources varies from one person to another, depending on how one uses them. Utility also depends on users' knowledge and creativity in the use of resources and their potential. Utility, okay. Attitudes affect the use of resources. Our attitudes affect the use of resources. The concept of utility is subjective and cannot be measured out precisely. Attitudes affect the use of resources. The concept of utility is subjective and cannot be measured out precisely. So that's resources under utility. Then we have resources accessibility. under accessibility. He said it has to be at hand. So resources need to be at hand or reserved within reach. Accessibility, still on accessibility. It should be available in quantity and quality that would be needed. Resources under accessibility. He said it should be available in quantity and quality that would be needed. The quantity and quality of resources may vary from person to person. Among families and events or varying. It may vary from time to time, and even from one person, it may vary from time to time. So, how accessible resources are to you may vary from time to time. And then interchangeability of resources. Can it be changed? Do we have the alternative to change? So one resource can be substituted or interchanged. One resource can be substituted or interchanged with another. Resources have alternative uses. Alternative use, using your time to either sleep or attend lectures. So once you sleep and the time is up, you've lost your energy. Or alternative use, using your time in either sleep or using your time to either sleep. Okay. So we can substitute a resource. I have to sew a dress but have no time. So I have to give it to a seamstress. So I substitute my time for money. So you can substitute it, your time for money. You know how to bake cake, but this festive season, you felt you don't have enough time. Alright. So after substituting your money for the cookies, since you will not have time to do them yourself, you can substitute your money for the cookies. Resources can be created or developed. So resources can be created or developed. Especially human resources can be developed, and non-human resources can be created. So as one gains knowledge and develops skills, one increases its utility. So let's see if we can create or develop resources. Or what are some of the resources that you think we can create ourselves or we can develop? What are some of the resources that we can create or develop? Madam, Masa, let's look at some of the. So, what are some of the resources that you think can be created or developed? Contribution, please. Or won't we talk? Hello. Hello.
Hi, madam.
Oh, we've been quiet. Oh. Very quiet. Resources that can be created or developed. Resources that can be created or developed.
Madam Rose,
Come again.
road. Hello, madam.
Oh,
Hello, madam.
yes.
I said rules. We can create rules.
Oh, but in this case, okay, we can create rules, but in this case, the human resources that can be developed or created.
Okay.
Uh, the human resources. Okay, let's go on.
Can I say skills?
Come again.
Skills.
Yeah,
We can
skills.
develop
You
our
develop
skills.
skills. You develop skills. As you develop skills, one increases its utility too. Okay. And then as we train or upgrade, we learn different skills, we gain more knowledge, it leads to improvements and increased utility. So resources can be created from known material or known material things. Characteristics of resources still continue. We are not done. We have the manageability of resources. To all extents, resources can be managed. Resources can be managed. So this has to do with appropriate allocation and application of resources to meet desired ends. We also have resources transferability. Seeing that characteristics. Transferability. So resources are transferable. Resources are transferable. That is why a teacher teaching his or her students is transferring knowledge. So resources are transferable. And then we have resources scarcity. Patience. Patience, please. If you don't want to be part of us, you can mute your mic. Leave us alone, okay? Resources can be said to be scarcity or scarce. Resources are scarce and they have a limitation or are limited in supply. And in terms of when resources can be said to be scarce and they have a limitation or are limited in supply in terms of when and in quantity and quality. They are not easy to come by. So we need to recognize resources in short supply. So we can say resources, they are not easy to come by. And then we need to recognize resources. We need to recognize resources are in short supply. They are not enough. For example, continuous felling of trees. Material resources. Energy may reduce with time. We continue to cut down trees. Energy may reduce with time. Skills also improve on further use. So this brings us to the end of Unit 3. I want to ask if we have any questions, comments before we move on.
Madam,
Yes, madam.
please, we are pleading that after the lesson, may you kindly put the slides there for us.
Yo, I hear.
Thank you very much.
Any question? Any question? If there are no questions, then I think we can move on.
And then please let's move on.
Hey, who is this? I haven't heard of you.
I'm part of you.
You are here. Okay.
Okay.
So let's look at application of the system theory to family management, and then the throughput, the output, and then the feedback. The throughput, the management process. Looking at the throughput, we look at the management process. This one too, do we go for break? We've been going for break, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So in the throughput, that's a management process. We said the throughput is the transportation of matter or energy by the system from input to output in the management system. The throughput is the transportation of matter or energy by the system from input to output in the management system. So activity that answers questions of how much, how good, when and where the actual process occur is what we are looking at, or is what we'll be looking at. The throughputs, that's the management process. We said it includes series of processes by which people transform resources to meet demands. So, a series of processes by which people transform resources to meet demands. If you've understood that, then let's move on. I take it again. I said it includes series of processes by which people transform resources to meet their demands. These transformation processes include the exchange, consumption, protection, transfer, production, saving, or investment of resources to meet the goal. And these are all the processes just to meet a goal. You want to buy a house, you will make some savings, you know, and at the end of the day, the money gets to whatever amount you are looking for to buy or to meet your goal. So your savings becomes your transformation process or part of your transformation process. So as we take them one by one, we look first of all look at exchange. We said people can directly exchange goods and services as in the barter system or use money as a form of exchange. So as you go to purchase something, you give money out equivalent to whatever the price. You give that money and then they give you its equivalent product or good or services. Then consumption. This has to do with direct use and waste of resources. Consumption. Got to do with direct use and waste of resources that occur. Direct use and waste of resources that occur anytime we use a resource, its value depletes. That's consumption. And then protection said this involves including costs to preserve the overall worth of resource inventory. Overall worth of resource inventory. Transfer. Transfer occurs in lending resources, as in giving gifts of kind, money possessions, and many more to others. You are transferring your property to another person. That's also a form of transfer. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
Madam,
Yes, madam.
please can you share your slides with us? The one on resource. We don't have that one.
But I think someone has just said that.
Oh, okay.
Any question? But don't you have some of the slides? Or is only the one I'm using that you want? Don't you have some?
Yes, we have it, but the one on resource we don't have.
Okay. I hear. I hear. Okay, any question? Any
Madam
question?
Laye, please, your mic is on.
Ah, she's the one playing the music.
Yes, please.
I'm not playing music. Oh, they're having a
I
program
bet.
at my end.
So there's noise at your background.
Yeah, it
So
seems.
whether
Yeah.
someone is playing it or not, there's noise at your background. So that's even the more reason why you have to put it for.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Any question? Coswell, please, when are we going for break? Coswell, Coswell, please, when are we going for break?
Madam,
Yes, madam.
please you called me.
I said, please, when are we going for break?
We're supposed to go at 1:10.
Really? Hey, then
Yes.
sorry, today looks like I'm punishing you guys. And no one is
Oh,
also talking.
it's okay.
Sorry. Sometimes when no one also prompts me, it's like I'll be going till I realize that it's like time is fast spent or something. Okay, so sorry about that. So
Oh,
we
it's
can
okay.
take some minutes break and then come back. Let's come back at 2.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
So, please, when it's about 5 minutes to 2, you can give me a call. Okay?
Yes, please. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So meet you later. Hello.
Hello, ma.
Yeah. Sorry for the delay.
No problem, ma.
I got engaged into something. Okay. So can we please go on from where we left? Okay. So let's look at we're looking at the management process. That's a throughput. A throughput. And we're saying that, or I said, it includes series of processes by which people transform resources to meet demands. It includes series of processes by which people transform resources to meet demands. This transformation process or processes include exchange, consumption, protection, transfer, production, saving, or investment of resources to meet goals. And when we want to look at it one after the other, we first of all look at the exchange. First of all, look at exchange. In exchange, the people directly exchange goods and services as in the barter system or use money as a form of exchange. For now, I think barter system is no more, but then we also use money in exchange for goods and services. Money is a means through which we pay for services rendered to us or goods. Let's look at which use and waste of resources. The direct use and waste of resources that value depletes anytime we use resources. Its value depletes. And any example of resource that depletes, any example of resource. Hello, example of resources that deplete as we use them or as we use it. Any example? Please, I'm asking a question.
Madam, please, can we say energy?
Yeah, the more we use energy, mm, the more tired you get. Yes, any other thing.
Madam, skills.
How does it deplete?
Madam, let's say knowledge. the more you learn,
Have you changed
the,
it?
the skills or knowledge and knowledge.
So how does it deplete?
Madam, the more what do you call it? You learn, then madam you become exhausted.
Are you talking about studying or you are talking about
Yes. Studying.
the more you study, you become exhausted?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any better example?
Madam, money.
Let me say one. We've talked about resources. We've talked
Madam,
about
please,
resources
Baba.
earlier.
Money.
Come again.
Money.
Money.
Yes.
Okay. Money, as we use it, the value, it drops. The value as in the sense that maybe you have 1,000 cedis. As you spend it, you don't still have 1,000 cedis. It reduces. Okay. Any other thing? Any other thing? Protection. Protection. He said it involves incurring costs to preserve the overall worth of resource inventory. This involves incurring costs to preserve the overall worth of resource inventory. Please, how do we understand that statement? How do we understand that statement? How do you understand the statement? Oh, no one wants to talk. Sometimes yɛtumi yɛ ma no yɛ fɛ, sometimes yɛtumi yɛ ma no yɛ style bi. Hello, Madam Ramat.
Yes,
Madam
madam.
Ramat, how do
Yes.
you understand the statement?
Um, hmm. Madam, can I give
Pro-
example?
Protection. We said it involves incurring costs to preserve the overall worth of resource inventory.
Please, can I give example of how I understand it?
Okay.
Um, for example, like our house, in our homes, we pay security people or security men to protect us because the things in the house and the whole household is like an asset. So it means that when we stop paying the people for the protection, I don't know. Please, I'm on the right path.
It is well. I want people to talk. Please, how do you understand it? Or I should mention names. Hello, Gossip, are you there? Gossip, come and bail your people. Gossip, are you? Agoa. Hello.
Hi.
Is it only Ramat who is here? Where is
No,
Cosmo?
madam, we are all.
No, madam.
The understanding
Uh-huh.
is not coming.
Come again.
The understanding is not coming.
And but we did this before we went for break. Oh.
That's
I
what
deliberately came back to take it again. So doesn't mean we didn't understand it, but we kept quiet. Madam Florence,
Bibi, sir.
Madam Belinda. So you tell me
Making
how
an
you
effort.
understood it.
And that will protect the fund of resources.
Madam Barbara, tell me
Yes,
how you
ma'am.
understand how you understand the statement.
Ma'am, please, making efforts to maintain the value of the resources that we have so that they will not lose their usefulness.
Okay. Any other suggestion? She is saying that we making efforts to preserve the value of our resources. If I got it right. Any other? How do
Yes, to
you
avoid
also understand?
so that our resources will not go waste, man.
Please, who was talking? Is it Madam Betty?
Yes, please.
Please take it again. I didn't get the beginning of what you said.
Okay. I was adding up to what my sister said already. That's under the protection, like we have to devise ways so that the resources we have will not go waste.
Okay. Thank you all. But then let's take it line by line so that we'll all get the concept. He said this involves incurring costs to preserve. Okay, I said line by line, sorry. This involves incurring costs. So how do we understand that statement? When we are incurring costs, how do we get it? How do we incur costs? Do we understand Akan? Or I should speak my dialect?
No, we
That
understand. Please.
how do we incur costs? Hmm? When we are saying you are incurring costs, please, how do you get it? I know we understand, so let's share it. How you understand it, let's share it. Maybe I may understand it better than you, or you may understand it better than me.
Hello,
It's a
ma'am.
foreign language. Yes.
Please, to my understanding, when we incur cost, it means that we are spending money.
Okay. So pause there. We are spending money to preserve the overall worth of resource inventory. Mm-hmm. Madam Barbara.
Yes, ma.
Uh-huh. When we say resource inventory, please, do we understand it? Please, do we understand the resource inventory? The English language is someone's language. So let's see how you understood it is the same as how I understood it. We all are going to write the same paper. So we all need to understand it. So how do we understand it? Let's hear.
Madam, the inventory.
Mm-hmm. The resource inventory.
And so
Inventory.
things, the resources that you need,
Come again.
the things that you need.
The things that you need. That's
Yes.
how you understood it.
Yes, please.
Okay. Please, any other idea? Any
Yes,
other
madam.
person with different thing?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
please. The resources that we have.
Yes, I think that's better. The
Yeah, the
resources that we
available
have.
ones.
That's resource inventory. Come again.
The available ones.
Okay. Then I also go by the resources that we have. Okay. So what are some of the resources that we have? Let's look around us. What are some of the resources that we have? What are some of the resources that we have?
Madam, please, we have our natural resources available to us.
But we said we have both human and non-human resources, right?
Ye- Yes,
Okay.
please.
So can you be a bit specific and give us maybe a specific example?
Okay, so the water bodies,
Okay.
yeah, the
Okay.
lands.
Ma, please.
So now let's use the example you have given and fit it into the sentence that we are spending money or we are using money to preserve the overall worth of our land or our water bodies. Does it make sense?
Madam, please, what I can say is that
Mm-hmm.
in order to protect our resources, both
Okay.
human and non-human,
Okay.
we need to spend a lot, or it's expensive to preserve or protect our resources.
Okay. I think we also give acquiring knowledge and skills also as an example of resources, right?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
Yes.
please. Another human resource.
Come again.
The example mom made is under human resource. The skills an individual acquired.
Well, I'm not even asking where it falls, but I'm just saying that I believe when we were talking about resources, we make mention of knowledge and skills also being part of the resources, right?
Yes, please.
And at the
Yes.
moment, I think currently we have paid money to acquire some knowledge to preserve whatever we already know, and then to acquire. I believe we are mostly doing this for promotion. I think last week I even made cite some example. So sometimes when we are talking about the thing, let's not see it to be far away from us. Okay, let's bring our minds. I know the sun is hot, so our minds are. Let's bring our minds home. So we are saying that we are spending money to preserve whatever resources, being it human resource or the non-human non-human resource. We are using money to preserve its values. Okay, you have a typical example. You have land. If you don't protect it, people will take it or people will intrude on the land. You end up fencing down this thing, fencing or building a fence around the land, isn't it? It's not to prevent people from intruding on your land.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Mhm. That's a typical way of preserving our. Hello, good afternoon, madam. That's a typical way of preserving our resource, whatever resource we have. You already have skills, but you decided to upgrade on whatever skills you have. That's also another way of protecting whatever resource you have. Okay, so let's move on. Transfer occurs. The other process is transfer. And we are saying it occurs in lending resources, as in giving gifts of kind, money possessions, and many more to others. I think this one is quite explanatory. Or I go. I think this one is quite explanatory, right? Am I
Yes,
here alone?
please. No, man.
Or we should explain that one too. You see, when you are part of it, there's no way you forget it. But when you are there, that the information should be given, that's where, if you are not careful, you may even forget it. All right. We also have production, and under production, it said producing is a addition of worth in existing process. You are adding worth or value to an existing resource. And then saving, this is postponing the use of a resource. Saving, you have something now, you don't want to use it, you want to preserve it to use in the future. That's savings. Typical of, let's say, money. Money that we postpone its use to the future, saying we are saving. Then investing. So the investing is a use of a current resource to increase the total supply of resources in the future. Investing is a use of a current resource to increase the total supply of resources in the future. So a current resource, you are adding more value to it, or you want to increase a total supply of resources in the future. It's a way of investing. You have something, you're going to keep it at the is it gold board or gold whatever. Those who went to keep whatever at the number one story. It was a form of invest. They were investing. The unfortunate happened to them. Okay, I'm not reminding people of their past pay. I believe we may have some people on this platform who were victims of the number one incidents. Investing. Maybe you've heard of treasury bills, or people who normally invest into foreign currencies. Maybe now that the dollar is down, you've decided to invest into it, whatever. So people have several ways of increasing the total supply of their resources in the future. And then we should take note, producing, saving, and investing are intended to increase the overall worth of resource inventory. So the production, investing, and saving, they are typically intended to increase the overall worth of our resource inventory. Any question? Any question? Any question? Sorry, I didn't notice it. Just talking in the air. Sorry. Unfortunately, nobody also drew my attention. Please, any question?
No,
Hel-
ma. No question, ma.
Hey, no question to you or to everybody. Hello.
To me. To me, ma, no question. I don't know the others.
Anyone with any question? Any clarification? Any addition? Okay. If there are no questions or anything, we can move on. Let's look at the activities in the managerial system. Activities in the managerial system. The managerial system involves planning, the use of resources, and implementing the managerial system. At the management level, basically planning, the use of resources, and then how you put those plans into work. So the overall effectiveness of the management system can be obtained by comparing the output with the input. So effectiveness is judged by the outcome. Effectiveness is judged by the outcome. So there are two main activities at this point. We have the planning and implementation. Planning and implementation. We have planning and implementation. So we'll look at it one after the other. Let's look at planning. Planning. I said it's the first activity in the throughput stage. So even what we are doing now, I'm putting in information, and at the end of a period, you bring out the feedback of whatever information you have been given, or you have been injected with, or you have been taught, or you have received or read. Okay. So we are saying that planning is the first activity. You planning to even go and buy a form and start a program is the first stage. Instead, is a way of devising a proposal to reach goals. So you going to buy a form alone, it's a way of, or it's in the direction of attaining a goal. But assuming you buy the form, you don't feel it, you don't do anything to it, you just leave it there, it ends there. But you buy the form, you feel it, you gain admission, you attend lectures. At the end of the day, you write exams or you write quizzes, your exams. That brings out the output, and at the end of everything, your goal of maybe adding on knowledge, or your goal of probably pursuing a particular course to attain a level has been attained. So it is a way of devising a proposal to reach goals. It involves establishing priorities among goals. Yes, way back, people have planned of maybe pursuing a course or pursuing this particular course, but they kept on postponing it, or there were other priorities. Okay, or even as we speak, there were other priorities, but you push them aside to pursue this one. We say establishing priorities among goals, clarifying through the development of standards, clarifying through. Please, a minute. I want to pick an important one. A minute, please. Thank you. I didn't know it would take that much time. Okay. Okay. So please, we're talking about planning. And we say it is a way of diversing a proposal to reach goals. It involves establishing priorities among goals, clarifying through the development of standards to measure goal attainment according to resources, and then determining the sequencing activities needed to reach goals. So in short, we say planning is a series of decisions concerning future standards and or for sequence of actions. Planning is a series of decisions concerning future standards and or for sequence of actions. So the next thing we'll look at is the components of planning. So first of all, look at goal clarification or prioritization. Goal clarification or prioritization. So these are an indication of goals deemed critical. Goal clarification or prioritization are an indication of goals that is deemed critical. When we say the components of planning, we want to look at those things that are part of planning. Okay, so we say goal clarification or prioritization. They are the indications of goals deemed critical. This makes planning purposeful. It makes planning purposeful. And we prioritize. We say we have lots of wants. As for wants, they are limited. Out of which we have needs too. So out of the lots, we can't satisfy all at a time. So we need to prioritize them and deal with them one after the other. So these make planning purposeful. When we prioritize, it makes our planning purposeful. It makes us more focused on what we want to achieve. They guide the persons or group decision about how, what, when, or why activities are to be done. As I was using our attaining of uh, how do I put it? Attaining higher using that as an example. You see, you have other equally important um, things that you could have done. You have to equally compensate your needs, maybe according to the law of preference. So out of which this year or whichever that started. So one may ask why this? Why are you every Saturday you are unable to attend? You have decided to choose the attending family gathering. See, people are to further or to add more knowledge in exchange for um having holidays with maybe your family. So we take up activities or when or why activities are to be done. They provide direction for resources that would be used for implementing the plans. They provide, when you prioritize your goals, you said they provide direction for resources that would be used for implementing the plans. Yes, out of the lot, because you have set your priorities, you know what you want to do within a particular period of time. So it directs what to do. So you end up not wasting your resources. Because you have purpose to do this, you will not start and then abandon it on the way. Okay. Unlike maybe you starting, assuming you've not planned because your friends were doing it, so you too you decided to also do. When it happens that way, you haven't made much plan. So in the midst of it, you've heard maybe something might have even caused you what to say, probably some abruchibi. It's not even ready for you to even go, but you abandon it. That I had planned to travel to go overseas 10 years ago and it didn't work. So this one, if I've seen the opportunity, coming, then why? Some people may abandon, or abandon whatever they have started to pursue other things. All these things happen because sometimes one, they are not focused or they haven't sit down to plan and to know the direction in which they should go. Okay. And then the second component is developing standards. Developing standards. The standards are measures for goal attainment. So whatever um academic qualification at the end of the day, maybe you ask yourself, probably is that what you want? Was it excuse me to say, I'm not saying you, but is it beard that I was looking for, or was it masters I was looking for, or was it PhD I I was looking for? What was my goal? Have I attained it? Then sometimes, so if I could use also maybe planning to acquire property. Let's say maybe you are planning to buy a car, a family car. So you are probably saving. You have you have planned, and out of the planning, you have decided to forego the let me see, the fancy things you buy, to forego certain things, certain lifestyles, maybe you used to take dropping. You decided to stop taking dropping and take the trotro so that you could also save something in order to buy the car. Okay, so in that case, your standards can be what kind of car do you want to buy? Do you want to buy um okay, let me come to maybe the Toyotas. Do you want to buy Toyota Yaris? Do you want to buy Toyota Versa? Is it Toyota RAV4 you want to buy? Is it Toyota Corolla you want to buy? What type of car do you want to buy? So in this case, the type of car can be your standards to measure your goal for attainment. They define how to meet the goals and results that are expected. Your standards, they define how to meet. Because you want Toyota RAV4, that's your standard. At the end of the day, it should be seen. He said they define how to meet your goals and results that are expected. Your standards define, yes, because of probably your standard of living, it defines whether you'll be able to buy that RAV4 within the period of time. A minute. Sorry about the breaking. Are you for sorry? Yes, sorry. So components of planning. I think we're looking at developing standards. That is it, they define how to meet, we define how to meet the goals and results that are expected. They define how to meet the goals and results that are expected. They also describe the quantity and quality of the desired results. Also describe quantity and quality of the desired results. Please, I'll be taking the third point, after which I'll plead with you that maybe we end the class. I've just had an emergency that I'll need to attend to. Please.
Okay, ma.
Hello, please. What did Madam say?
She was
Okay.
saying that she will take the third point and then attend to an emergency. She was pleading with us.
Okay.
Hello. So the third
Hello.
one,
Hello, ma.
we say the sequencing activities. Sequencing activities. So this is the ordering of parts of an activity. It is the order in which things occur, and they can be described in the following ways. Sequencing activities. That is when you are trying to put things in some order in which you want them to occur. Maybe you have planned that a year time or in 6 months you want to achieve this short-term goals, and then in about a year time you want to do that, in about 2 years time you want to be here. That's a way of sequencing your activities. Interdependence of sequence and the sequencing of activity. We have interdependence of sequence. So these are goals in which the completion of one task depends on the completion of another task. That is, failure to complete one task will delay another. Can we give any example? Any example? Right? Detailing, that's carrying out two or more activities at the same time until they are completed by giving each activity intermittent attention from time to time. When you say detailing, it's like you are performing a particular activity at the same time. No, let me say you are performing two or more activities at the same time. Maybe let's say you are washing and at the same time you are cooking. So from time to time you give attention to what is on fire, and you go back. Most especially, maybe you are using the washing machine, for instance. Okay, from time to time you go and attend to it, you come back. That's a typical example of dovetailing. Or you are cooking and at the same time you are doing some, maybe ironing. Okay, let's say tomorrow Sunday, as some of you will be preparing to go to church, maybe this evening or tomorrow morning you haven't ironed your clothes for church. You decided to be ironing at the same time, be preparing the children for church or something. So doing two or more activity at the same time, but giving them equal attention per time, or the necessary attention that is needed. Okay, the third one is overlapping. Overlapping under sequencing activities. Overlapping. This entails giving concurrent attention to two or more activities at the same time or simultaneously, with each one requiring a different level of attention. A typical example of the dovetailing is maybe frying, hand washing dishes, and supervising children to clean their rooms. That's a typical example of the dovetailing. And then the overlapping, feeding a toddler, and then you are watching TV at the same time. If you are watching one of your favorite TV series at the same time. And then we have the clustering activities. This music clustering, then you know that you should understand. He said this is when different activities are grouped, okay, to be carried out at the same time. So, for instance, you can pass by the barbering salon to barb your hair when going to visit a friend. You want to make sure that this Saturday, your you spend the hours or the time judiciously. So maybe as we are here, once it's online, you will get to some people, probably the distance is on, and as I'm saying, they even have divided attention. They are doing something else also at the same time. But this one, if much attention is not given, that is where probably you miss some concept. And that's the more reason why you get people asking for uh, the slides. I know that most people get the slides, and that is the end. They will never even come for. You never see them again. I hope we can relate.
Yes, madam.
Hey, so I have someone in the class also called Gifty. Wow. Okay. So please, is there any question? As I said, I wanted to end here. I needed to attend to some emergency. Is there any question?
Okay, madam. Even some of us are traveling to Kumasi for the
Hey,
next lesson. Yes,
you
so
see, you see now. You see what I'm saying?
as I'm talking, I'm in the car.
Uh-huh. Classroom. Classroom of activities.
Madam.
Yes.
Any question? Please, is there any question? And please, on this note, I want to end the class. God willing, next week, those traveling should have a safe journey to their destination.
Thank you,
And I wish
madam.
you all the best.
Thank you, madam.
All right. Bye
Madam,
bye.
please reverse
Thank
the
you,
slide.
madam.
Hello, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma.
Madam, please reverse
Mommy,
with the
Yes,
please.
slide.
madam.
Do you
Yes,
please,
please.
please, do you have some five questions that you can share with us?
She's gone.
Na mo nyame ayɛ mo adom na ɛnɛ yɛsɛ yɛbɛma mo slide a mo sɛ bisa pass question. Bell. Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Please, I'm suggesting that the course rep should create a group so she can add madam. Then concerning the slides and then the past questions, she can put it on that platform for us. That's my suggestion.
It's not on the platform, oh, Madam Frances. Okay.
Yo, medasi.
Hello. If I try o suggestion no betimi de ato your platform ni so why? Francis
Platform there here.
food and nutrition there no.
Oh, okay.
Wo de to up course rep no be who. Why?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Medasi.
Yeah.